We are recording. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our area.
Woo!
Whatever it is, I don't know. Weekly call. So Caroline's actually going to take the call today. Just a couple of things. Angie's on. Did you see that? Did you just do that? Sorry. Did you just see my 9-year-old have sleep spray? Did you just have sleep spray? Why? What's wrong with it? Well, I might have to actually stop. Okay, so Angie, a massive well done. Everybody clap for Angie because she is in district manager qualification. I can't remember if we mentioned that last week.
Yes, well done. Previous month, last month,
amazing. Carol. And a level 1 independent consultant achiever. Caroline's looking all. Oh, you're right, Caroline.
No, good.
I'm a little bit giddy.
Andrew,
why can't I hear anyone?
Can you hear me?
Hear anyone.
Can you hear me?
Let me just sort my speaker out. Oh, it's because
it's switched off. I can hear Carolina. Can anyone else hear me?
Can you hear me?
Hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah, I can hear you, but I don't think no one can hear. Anyone hear? Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. Hi, Uchi.
Okay. Hi.
My beautiful cousin. And also, Donna Ramolt. Let's give it a big clap. Level 1 independent consultant achiever this week. Woo! Which means 500 QV has gone through your shop already. So absolutely incredible. So I'm going to hand straight over to Caroline because we've only got 28 minutes left. So passing over.
Hi. Right, do you need... Oh, that's weird. Can you see me?
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, so hi everyone, lovely to see you all on this beautiful, we've had a lovely sunny day today, lovely to see you. So, okay, so what we thought we would do, was since we've got quite a few people who are new, relatively new in the area, we thought it would be quite useful just to go through the dashboard and how you put an event onto the dashboard, if you're doing a party or something and you want to put through some orders. So what I'll do is, I'm not sure if I can see participants. Oh yeah, I don't think I can mute you. So as long as you're sort of relatively quiet in your area, I'll leave you all unmuted. And then if you want to ask any questions as we go through, do feel free to ask questions. So the purpose of this is not about how to actually host the event. We can do that as a separate thing. And there are obviously various videos and audio trainings that you can do about actually hosting the event. This is more about how we look at things on our dashboard and how we then put orders onto the dashboard. So Carol, do pipe up as well if there's anything that I don't do that you think I should do in a particular way. Does that sound all right? Is that okay?
I'm just going to make you a host so that you can screen share.
Oh, can I not screen? It says I can share screen at the moment.
Okay, fine. Carry on. Yes.
I'm trying to share as we speak. Okie dokie. So what we're going to do, just taking you from the very beginning, so you'll recognise obviously here, probably most of you are pretty good on the how to log in and so on. Just something that's a little kind of foible of the system, which I don't know if you've noticed before, is that occasionally, if I've been previously logged in, when I log in, can you see my screen at the moment? That when it says, sometimes when I go to log in, it says login, it says welcome Caroline at the top here, but I don't have the green bar thing for some reason. And I just have to log off and log back in again. So if you do get that sort of strange thing where it looks as if you're sort of half logged in, then just log out and log back in again. So you can log in using either your ID number or your email address. Okay, so I know you're obviously quite good at this, but I thought I'd just go from the very beginning. Okay, right, and then my screen saves my computer saves my password. Okay, so you've probably all seen this before now. So you get to this beginning page the first time you go in. So you can either go directly to the shop, you can go directly into the stores. The before and after photos isn't really relevant for us. I don't think Carol is there because of it being more of a US thing. The share it is the digital toolkit, which if you haven't found that already, I'll just quickly talk about that. And then the middle one is your dashboard. So if you go to your dashboard, if you want to just know what's going on in your shop, or if you want to know various other things that you can access from here. So you've got this green bar, which is kind of how we access everything. And if you go to the main dashboard part, so that's what we just clicked on there, we'll get this screen here. These little boxes at the top here, they vary depending on current initiatives and things that are going on. And if you click on each of these, that'll take you directly through to the relevant link for the certain thing. So the ones that are up here, if you're not aware already, this is AAC, so that's the Arbonne Annual Conference, the UK conference, which is in September. So that's the one if you get the early bird discount. I think, Suzanne, you're registered for going, aren't you? Suzanne, or nearly. Woo! Hopefully. Very exciting. This is an Arbon incentive trip. If you're, Carol or I haven't spoken to you about that already, you can register, depending on how much business is done. I think it's between now and the end of May, so it's probably not so much relevant, but this is the trip to Mexico? It's Mexico, isn't it? Well done, Carol. Which you can win on an annual basis. They have a trip somewhere which you can win. Then this is something here.
What?
Pardon?
Fuck off.
You're right, Eileen? Okay. So this is a deal here at Genius Ultra.
Caroline, will you just unmute yourself? Sorry. Just go down to the bottom left and unmute yourself. I've muted everyone so that we can't hear anyone else. You just unmute yourself.
Okay, there we go. Sorry, I just had to stop sharing to do that. Right.
Sorry.
No, it's cool.
Brilliant.
All right. So this whole dashboard, you're probably aware, it all works on a monthly basis, a calendar month. So it goes from the 1st of the calendar month to the 30th or the 31st, whatever the final day of the calendar month is. So first of all, from the left to right, this section here is your personal QV. So that's what you have bought yourself or what you have sold to customers. So mine at the moment for this month is standing at 609 QV, personal QV. And down here, that'll tell you your personal QV. It'll also tell you your personally sponsored number of new consultants that you've brought into the business and the number of new preferred clients that you've sponsored. And then it'll tell you down the bottom here the number that you've sponsored over 150 QVs. So it'll be the number of consultants that you've sponsored who've paid their £56 to join and they've done a single order in that calendar month of over 150 QVs. And similarly your PCs. Now it actually says, yes, it says 150 QVs. So obviously when we talk about PC signups, normally it's the £120 SRP is what a PC needs to do in their first, as a single order in their first month in order to get their free gift. So essentially these are people who've done the relevant amount that they need to get their free gift. And when you get to district manager, there are bonuses available for taking on consultants and PCs who do over that amount, and that's the reason why we show those separately. So I always try to make sure all of my preferred clients, for example, I've got the same number here and here. And then that'll show the current period, and if you want to, you can select a different period. Okay. Then down the right hand side, it's got this breaking news section, just tells you any new orders that have come in. So occasionally you might get a preferred client or a client who's previously shopped with you, who might shop directly in the shop without you necessarily knowing. So it's good to look every day, because if a new order comes in, you might suddenly think, oh, what's that £159? I don't recognise that. That's come in. And then you can go and check what those orders are. Okay, and then if I've got a new PC or someone ordered register or a new consultant, that will all show there as well. This has got my central district, which again, you probably, I don't know if you're all aware, so your central district is your people who you have sponsored but who haven't yet promoted. So where my mum Pam, my son, is promoted as district manager, so her QVs don't actually show in this figure now. Anyway, so that's the sort of your overall dashboard. So obviously when you're looking at how your business is done, this is kind of where you want to look at your personal overall bits, and then your central district here. Okay, now down the bottom, just if we go down a bit further, why is it not letting me do that? Hang on a second. Okay, I'm sure you're all aware that's your personal website link. So if you do want to give anyone the link to your shop, you just give them this link here. Just occasionally, we do get orders that appear in here as going on hold or with credit card issues. I've had 2 or 3 over the 5 or 6 months where for some unknown reason, there's some kind of credit card issue, and we don't always get notification of that. So it is worth just casting your eye over this area here. Then this new leads opportunity tasks. Now, I have to say I'm not very good, but I believe that we are meant to check that every day. So if you update your profile in here and somebody comes through to Arbon and they think they want to find a consultant or they want to join a team or something like that, and they happen to be close to you, so the central Arbon head office can allocate that person to you. And I believe that they only stay on here for 24 hours or something crazy like that for each particular, if it gets allocated to you as a consultant. So I've never had anything in here, but if there were something, it'd be worth just now and again just having a quick peek in there just to see what these are. But again, it's not sort of super high priority, but just so you know what that's doing there. Okay, So that's your sort of primary dashboard, and you probably want to be looking at that every day to see what's going on through your team, through your area. Okay, then if you go to the me bit, your details is literally your details, so you can check those and make sure that you're all happy with like your start date and all that sort of thing. It'll tell you your year-to-date QV and various other things. So that's that under me. My clients will bring you up a list of all the people who you've previously registered as shopping with you before. And you can, so if you look here, these are all my previous clients that have shopped, and you can see things like their birthday, last order date, their addresses. So then I give you an opportunity just to track those, and you can do various filters on there. Success line details, not sure if everyone is aware. This is where you can track as you go through the month on a day-to-day basis how much you're earning from each individual customer. Hold on a second. So if you click on detailed commission, and then the month, so it says month equals, and then from the pick list you pick, for example, May, and then do view report. Give it a minute. Oh, there we go. Now this runs a few days behind any particular time, so there'll be a period where you might have things that you've done that don't have it, it doesn't completely show the exact figures, but essentially you've got the first section is people who have shopped with you at 35% commission, so people who've just shopped as a retail customer. The second one is your preferred client commission, so people for whom you're earning a 15% commission, and then when you become district manager you then get this separate section here which is all your additional overrides, or if you're an independent consultant and you do over 500 QVs in the month and you've got someone that you've sponsored, you'll also see that you get a 6% commission on those sections there. And then at the very bottom, there's nothing showing at the moment, but where it has adjustments here, if you do earn a bonus, then it shows up there. So on a so you've got some here, for example, where it actually went through on the 8th of May, but it's currently showing that the override is 0. Hello?
Oh, I can't see anything. I've just got the detailed commission bit and
that's a bit odd. Okay, well,
sales
it's
report.
come as a pop-up on my screen, so maybe it's not sharing for some reason. So when what will happen is you'll go click detailed commission when you off the call, and it just comes up, and then literally there's just a pick list. It says month equals, and then you pick the month that you want to look at, and then you'll see. So the first section is literally the name of the customer, what their spend was, and then there's various slightly strange sort of sets of numbers. There's like QV, then there's RV, then there's OV, and there's various different ones, which if you look in your what's it called, compensation summary, it does detail what the difference is between the retail value, the override value, and various other things. So essentially we get paid our percentages on a number which is slightly less than the QV figure. I'll talk to you about that separately if you want to understand more about that. I think it's to do with the foreign exchange variation, and then the override volume is 65%, I think, of the QV. But so don't worry too much about that. There's lots of different columns with OV, RV, various different figures in there, but essentially in there you've got each of the different things where it's got how much people have paid, and then what and at the end it just literally will say £1.60 or £10 or whatever. So you have a look on there, and if it doesn't make sense, come back to me. Level sales report, Carol, I've never really managed to make that say anything useful to me, so I tend to just ignore the level sales report, and the detailed commission is the useful bit there. Okay, so that's that. Manual renewal, don't worry about it at the moment. That's, I think, when people are coming up for their renewal, if they've become a preferred client or a consultant in your area. Profile is where you can put in more details about yourself, and then if it were to come up, if someone was looking for a consultant in your area, then they'd be able to see what you'd written about yourself, is in there. Savings wallet is where you're probably aware that, so preferred clients, oh, I think that's your own savings wallet, actually. That's if you've won a voucher or something or other, is in there. File cabinet then is the other useful one that I find. So as well as the detailed commission sheet, if you go into file cabinet, these are sort of lots of useful documents. So if you ever want to refer back to your policies and procedures, success plan, code of ethics, and so on, then you can just open all of those ones. But these are also then your final commission statements for the previous month. So this is my May commission statement. I don't know if you can you see that, or is that coming up or not? Yeah. Okay. So I haven't even looked at this, but anyway, so this sort of is basically like looks more like a pay slip. So if you want to get the detailed breakdown, which is how much you've got from individual people, go to that detailed commission, and then this one will show you your overall figures with any adjustments, bonuses, and so on. Look at that bonus.
These are I save all of these each month into a folder because they're really handy for your tax return. Just they're like, literally like if you want to know how much you've earned and pay slips, then you've got them all. But they'll always be here. But I save them straight away into a folder for my tax.
Yeah, so they just come up as a PDF. You'll see them there, and so as Carol says, they'll always be there. But if you want to then have each of those each month, and then when it comes to pay slip time, you literally just go through and go how much income I've had each month. So that's a really useful place just to know that those exist there. Team, don't worry about until you've got a team, and then you can go in there. But if you do want to look at your own orders or orders that people have put through, if you go to my team and then orders, it'll also bring you up the detail of different people's orders. So if you do here on the filter here, you can do order type. Well, no, just ignore that. So commissions not processed is the ones in this month that people have already put through, and you can select other months in that pick list there. So what you'll see here, these are all the people I've put orders through or who've put orders through themselves in this month. And if I then click on where it says order reference, you'll see the little green order numbers here, and so I can click on those, and then that will bring me up the actual detail of precisely what they ordered. So again, sometimes customers might order without you knowing, like them, they just do it online, and it'll bring you up a little tax invoice similar to the one that you get when you put through an order. So do you see that? Can you see that from where you are? So that's quite useful that you can have those, and so you can go back to previous orders from previous months, because you can just select a different month. So it might be in April, you want to see what orders people did. So, okay, so you can see your own orders and any other orders that anyone's done. Yeah, and we can talk about these other bits here in due course if you start to build teams, or if you're going for particular promotions and things. Resources, you're obviously aware of, so you can just go to the source that way. The digital toolkit I'm not going to cover today, but that is incredibly powerful as well. There's all sorts of amazing images and things in there, and it can post directly to your website. The brand book, if you haven't read through that already, I'd highly recommend looking at that, because that is very useful actually for just thinking about how we brand things that we do, and kind of how we should stay aligned to the overall Arbonne brand. Web stats, I think, is old. Carol, it's old, isn't it? That's for people who join before a certain time, so just ignore web stats. Okay, so, and trackers is any incentives that you're going for. So if you click on trackers here, you'll see this is me. I've registered for the Mexico trip. So I'm tracking on here on a monthly basis how many QVs I've done each month. And then it tells me what my total QVs are. And then tells me how many things I'm away for getting each of the parts of the incentive. So anyway, that's that. Okay, so we've got just in the remaining 11 minutes, whatever, 10 minutes. So just in terms of events and presentations, we'll start this, and we might need to carry it on as a separate thing. Carol did start one of these on a previous occasion, didn't you? So we'll go into this in a little bit of detail. So if you were doing a new event and you just so you've had a party or a group of people together that you want to put through, you would go into new event. Just for the interest of speed, I'm just going to go into one that is a presentation that I've already started to set up, and you'll see then what it looks like if you haven't done one already. So if I were to go into new event, it would just prompt me to put various details in. So I think it'll more or less show them if I go into here anyway. Let's have a look. Oh, not quite. Hang on, I'll just show you. So if you go, let's just do a little bit as a new event, and then I'll go back into Carol's. So as a new event, I don't think it makes any difference to anyone which of these things you put. So I've always put them down as presentation. Carol, do you put yours down as presentation, don't you? So literally you just leave it with the tick box in presentation in UK, and either you click you are the host if you've held it at your house, or you do find a host. If you do find a host, it'll prompt you to see whether it's a person you've previously put in, and then a little box will appear here, and you can type in their details if you've already got their details in the system, or it'll prompt you to enter their details. So let's assume now you go you are the host, just for the purpose of this. And then come up with enter event details and location. You have to put an event name in, but it doesn't matter what your name is. So I don't know, party 2 or something. It'll put an event date and the start time, end time. Again, it doesn't matter too much really what that is. It's mainly for your benefit. And then it'll then ask you if it's for the host address or a different address. So let's say for the purposes of this, it's at my address. Okay, now these parts on the left here I think are relatively new to the system, and I have to say I'm not that au fait with them at the moment. I haven't particularly used them. What this allows you to do, these two parts here, it allows you to invite guests directly by sending an email out of the system. It's an email that's generated by this system, and there's a little set of pick lists where you can choose like a card, like an electronic card, like the ones in Red Stamp, that can go directly out to the guests. And also by using the host portal, you can invite your host to come directly into the portal and start inviting guests and stuff. Personally, I've always found that it's a bit over-engineered, and most of the hosts I think find it more complicated than it is easy. So I just tend to skip all of that, and I just go straight to invite guests, and I'll type in their details. And then we go invite guests, and then we're going straight to place order. Now, just for the purpose of this, to speed things up, oopsie daisy, I'll just go into this one of Carol's that I've already got half set up. So imagine that we're into the invite guests, and this is pretty much where we're going to join this one. Okay, so I've got as far as invite guests, which is what we've got here. Okay, and so what then comes up is a thing where you can type in the email address, the first name, the last name, and then that'll add the guest. So if it's a person that the system doesn't know before, they're brand new, if you know their email address, their first name, the last name, you can add it in. I think I tend to mostly add the people in after I've had the party, because I often don't know their email addresses beforehand. And you can add a person that doesn't have an email address. So one of my team members had a number of older people at one of her parties who literally didn't have an email address or didn't want to give it. And so if you do have someone like that, you can go into new contacts, which lets you add the person's details here. If you scroll down, there's a bit that says don't have email there, and you can tick box that. So if you ever get stuck and you've got someone that you don't have an email address for, you can get around it by that method. Where are we? But otherwise you end up with a list of either 3, 6, how many people it is that you've got in the details. So I've added in these 3 people here for the purposes of this. Okay, then the next step is so you check that the host is the right person. If there just occasionally you might have set it up a bit in a funny way and you want to change the host between say you and the other person, in which case you can click that box and that will change the host over. Then we go add new order, and then we get into the ordering screen. There we go. Okay, so this is what your event will start to look like when you go in. You'll have a little summary at the top here that will say the person's name, the presentation it was, the date that they held it on, how many people were invited, and how many people bought something. Yeah. Then there's an event summary that will start to tell you as you start to put in the orders, the guest sales, the number of the host sales, and then the event total and what's to be paid still. So at the moment I haven't put in any of these people's payment details. You'll see they're in red. That's why it says balance due. And it also gives you a host rewards QV. That's important because your host obviously earns the opportunity to have these extra things where they can, for example, they get the opportunity to put £25 in themselves, and then they get £65 of products that they can buy if it goes over 250 QV. So that's why that's useful. And obviously you want to know what your total QVs are. Okay, so you've got a little summary thing here. Those are all in green. So those are things that allow you to select different things. But so if you want to say put in details of what Helen wants to buy, you can either choose her name from here, or you can choose her name from here. And then it'll open up the screen and allow you to put in the details of what she wants to buy. If you have these little blue tick boxes here, if you've got it ticked, it means that that person has ordered. If you've say got 4 people that came to the party and you want to put in all their details, but you don't want to haven't all bought something, you must untick them, because if you don't put in an order for the person but you've got it ticked, you see it says here check mark equals guest placed order, the system won't let you progress. And then you'll be sitting there wondering why on earth it's not working, which is very annoying. And then it's got your host orders down here, and you can just double check the presentation shipping address there. So conscious of time, I'll just show you. So I've put in Helen's things here. She's coming up as a customer. If you did want to upgrade her to a preferred client, so she's made the decision to become a preferred client, this is how I upgrade most of my preferred clients. So I'll come in through the event, I'll click this green thing here. You need to have your pop-ups enabled. So if you have any of your pop-ups disabled, that is difficult because it won't open the preferred client screen, because you get another little pop-up that appears here that lets you put in their details to make them become a preferred client. So you just need to be confident, check if it doesn't come up for any reason, check your pop-ups. So she's wanting a scrub. So she's decided not to become a preferred client. She just wants one scrub, and that's that. So then I put in her details. So I typed in the details here. I typed in the item number, and then that popped up. I said, yes, thank you very much. That's what I want. Then I've clicked consolidated shipping. So I don't know if you're aware that if you have a normal person and it says ship to guest at close, they're getting the normal postage, which is as shown on the order form, which is minimum £6.50 and then a sliding scale up to £10. If you have 3 or more orders, you can get them all to come to a single address in a single box, and then they all get charged £4. So that is a good way of doing it to keep the postage lower in an event. And then just like you would put in for your own order, then you get to billing information, you add the payment, and then it'll come up with the pop-up box, and you can add in their bank details, and then it'll show you the amount they've ordered, the postage, the total, and then once I've put in her payment, it'll then say that there's no balance due. Okay, then I'll go to my host. Now, this particular host, because of the level of the sales, she's got kind of everything. So she's going to become a preferred client, although I haven't done it yet. So you'll see here, it says I still need to upgrade to preferred client because I'm just waiting for some details from her. Okay, so I've put in the things that she wants to buy already. Then because the total amount here, you'll see, is over 250 QVs. It says pounds, just ignore the pounds. I think that's just a computer glitch. That is in QVs. Because it's over 250 QVs, she gets the opportunity to do this build your own value pack. So this is where she puts in £25 and she can get £65 worth of products. So effectively, she's getting £40 product free. Now, even if she becomes a preferred client, that is still always at SRP, not at preferred client rate, which is a little bit confusing for people sometimes. And literally, you'll just select an item. You have to do it with the item number. You can't just search by the names. You just need to look up. So I often have a second tab open where I've got another version of Arbonne open if I want to go back and forwards and check things in the shop. So you just type in whatever the item number is. So let's say she wants a primer, not that I know that off the top of my head, and then you have to put in the number of how much you want. Then you click add, and it comes with the primer and it tells you what's remaining out of her £65, and then you click complete build your own at the very end. So conscious of the time. There's then purchase with purchase items, which if you're not aware about that as well, those are really good value. I think those are brilliant value, those little things. So this particular client, 2 of the people from this party have come up with a purchase with purchase. So I've now gone back to those people and said, do you want, for example, an RE9 travel set for £33? In which case then I'll go back and add that to the bag. That'll increase the overall QVs for me, and they'll obviously get a really good deal. So I always, at the end of the party, I go back through, I put all the orders in, and then I check and I go back to each individual person and just clarify if there's anything else that they can get that they perhaps didn't know about before. Host reward, she'll get the thing off the sheet that says because she's hosted and there's been spend of 3 orders or more over 150 QVs. And then similarly, I've got her down as consolidated shipping, and I'll add her billing in once I know whether she wants to go for this build your own pack. So she's just thinking about that at the moment, what she wants to put in there, and whether she wants to go with this purchase with purchase. Occasionally I buy those myself if the person doesn't want them. So I say to them, well, do you mind if I put on your order for me to get one of those? That's quite a useful way of you to build up little bits and pieces for your own, because it's quite good. If you haven't got Calm, then for £22 you can get a whole Calm Try Me set. It's quite useful for lending out to people. So I think we need to go on the other call at the moment. So that is, I have to say, the first few orders that you do, if it's anything like me, they drive you absolutely to distraction for about the first 3 orders. So it is worth probably doing with one of us kind of slightly holding your hand, or have a go, and then if you get stuck, you can either phone customer services, or you can come back to one of us if there's ever a reason why you're not sure why something's not going through. But once you get the hang of it, it's then really quick. But I would say to sort of put the stuff in. So as soon as you know the details of what the people are going to buy, start putting it into the system, and then it does kind of take you through the process. But as I say, I always go back, and I nearly always get more orders afterwards. I think, Carol, you said you always get more orders, don't you, after an event, by going back and just picking up with people if they want to buy more, and if in particular if they've got these sort of extra deals that they're allowed to do that perhaps they didn't know about on the evening. And I think that it's too much for people on the night to start telling them about these, because they get all too confused and they can't work out what they want. Would you say, Carol? So I usually screenshot it. So on my computer I do, I've got an ability to do this kind of thing where I can, like, for example, I I can screenshot just that little section of it. So then what I'll usually do is I'll send them an email with two or three screenshots of the relevant part of the order form, so that then I'll send them maybe a screenshot of this bit where I'll say, right, and this is your shopping bag, just to confirm that's what I'm ordering for you. And then I'll say, and therefore, these are like the value options you've got. This is your purchase items. So there we go. I hope that's helpful. I know it was a bit whistle stop. Is that right, Carol?
Yeah, it's really, really good. I think definitely I always follow up the day after. So 24 hours afterwards, I text every single person and say, or similar, or email, I'm about to place the order. Are you happy with it? We need to finish, but just the main thing, but please don't get too overwhelmed by this. This is if you want to take advantage of the host rewards, which is where the host can get money off vouchers and also a free gift. You can just place orders normally like everybody else does for parties if you want to, but these presentations are amazing for also, you can build up rewards for yourself as well if you're the host and you're just placing orders through. But I do think it's a whole other training, isn't it? We just need to maybe spend an hour.
We'll do that separately, going through, because when we started this previously, so we need to get off and go on the other call, but there are ways that you can sort of have a rolling event where if you're getting ad hoc things coming in, you can have one so that you build up those host rewards and the £25 for 65 things. But I'll talk to sort of people who are in my success line separately about that, just so that you know over this next few days sort of how you can get maximum benefit, because there's really good opportunities for you to build up your own kit by doing it that way.
Yeah,
cool.
okay.
Right,
Lovely. Thank you, Caroline.
thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.